This week on WestordCAT News, Brian Mahoney explains why he created a Kindness Westford Facebook page. Westford Academy sophomore Austin DeSisto brings high school sports coverage to WestordCAT.
The game ended in a final score of 0-1, with Bedford scoring the winning goal in the third quarter.
And what do a sign, an 8-year-old girl, and a pile of leaves have in common? News Director Joyce Polino Crane. Stay tuned. WestordCAT News is next. How much property to preserve for the town and how much to sell. These are the options selectmen are considering for the 63 Main Street house on 3 acres of land in the center of town. The town bought the property in 2018 after a fire gutted the attic in 2016. At special town meeting on October 18th, voters called for selectmen to sell the house as a single-family dwelling, but Selectman Mark Cost saw an opportunity to do both.
I think what the most prudent thing would be for us is to maintain as much property as we can. If we want to move forward with selling the property, maintain as much as we can for either current or future use, because we don't know what's happening in the center building. We don't know if we're ever getting a library. We don't know if we're doing the municipal building. We don't know what we're doing. So I think it's kind of silly to be talking about parking spaces. What we should be doing is talking about maintaining the maximum amount of flexibility with property we can maintain, and then work off of what are the options associated with that.
Here's Ellen Hardy, who served on the Town Center Traffic Study Committee a few years ago.
We did a lot of evaluation of what is already existing for parking. We did not make a forecast of how much parking is needed, because there are 2 different things that you need to decide. One is for office space and factoring in the building that was proposed for 51. But most people I talk to say, I want to have a place to park for Apple Blossom Festival. I want to have a place to park for the prom. I want to have a place to park for Strawberry Festival. 32 spaces isn't going to do it. 55 spaces is not going to do it. Those are statistical outliers, and we should not, in my opinion, be planning a parking lot that people think is going to serve that purpose for them.
Watch the entire Selectmen's meeting at WestfordCAT.org. School committee members on October 26th unanimously voted to accept Superintendent Bill Olson's goals for fiscal 2021. The first goal would enhance the consistency of the budget development process across all schools, along with an increase in townwide communications and understanding of student needs. The second would reactivate the diversity, equity, and inclusion team with expanded representation and focus. The final goal would ensure that Olson procure and support the implementation of the social emotional learning program of the Boston-based Panorama Education Company.
Well, I want to thank you for your positive comments about the goals at the last school committee meeting. I did make a couple of minor revisions based on your comments, but I also added the measurement criteria. And those are the dates, the timelines, the tasks that I will be completing prior to the end of this school year. As you know, we focus on budget, we focus on diversity, equity, inclusion, and we focus on the social, emotional well-being.
To watch the entire school committee meeting on demand, including Olson's detailed explanation of each goal, visit WestfordCAT.org. Neighboring Chelmsford has experienced a surge in the number of COVID-19 cases. The cluster originated from the Sunny Acres nursing home, according to published reports. I took a few minutes to ask Westford Health Director Jeff Stevens what this means for Westford residents and how many cases do we have here.
So while it's difficult to speak directly to another town's numbers, I do happen to know a little bit about theirs. Theirs happen to be, they happen to be a designated high-risk community right now, mainly because there's a cluster in a long-term care facility. And that particular facility will reflect the entire town population's numbers. So if, whether it be a nursing home or a prison or a convalescent home, whatever the facility might be, where you have a large amount of people living in a setting, if there's a cluster within there, it will affect the entire community. As far as how the numbers are reported, it doesn't necessarily mean it's more dangerous in Chelmsford, or for that matter, any other high-risk community.
Watch the entire interview at WestordCAT.org. Now here's Austin DeSisto with news about high school sports.
The Westford Academy varsity boys soccer had a tough loss against the Bedford Buccaneers at Trustees Field, while Bedford also beat the varsity girls soccer team at home on Wednesday, October 28th. My name is Austin DeSisto, a sophomore at WA and an intern at WestordCAT with another WA Sports update. The game ended in a final score of 0-1, with Bedford scoring the winning goal in the third quarter. Despite there being one goal, Bedford only had 3 attempts, while the Grey Ghosts had well into the double digits. Westford Academy had some quick feet and great ball handling around the center field. Left wing back John Colley helped his team to advance the ball downfield during one play in the second quarter. The second quarter also brought a lot of opportunities for WA, but they failed to execute them. WA still dominated the midfield in the third quarter, but when Bedford's strong attack advanced down the field, it caused center defensive mid Ryan DiPietro to make a tripping foul, allowing Bedford a chance to score before their first and only goal. The fourth quarter saw great plays on both sides of the field, but neither team could complete their plays and get the ball in the net. Goalkeeper Michael Lucente, who was out with a concussion, commented on the loss by saying, "It wasn't the outcome we were looking for, but the whole game we dominated the field." After the game, the team celebrated the seniors and their parents by signs signed by teammates and banners with photos of each senior on them. Each parent received a rose from their student athlete and had the opportunity to take a picture with them. The team then gathered for a group picture, which, some said, they would cherish forever. Hear what Coach Tony DeLeo had to say to his players at the conclusion of the match.
That's what you got to remember. I don't care that they scored a COVID goal. We've got to find a way to score. Okay? That's what we got to do. Right? But you played a good game. We got to keep working on our finishing. That's the only thing we're missing. Okay? We can take these guys. You know, we'll get them on Saturday. All right? Keep your heads up.
Varsity girls soccer played at Bedford and lost 2-1 with only 3 minutes left in the game. Bedford got a penalty kick, which put them up 2-1. JV boys soccer played on Westford Academy's North Field in an intra-squad game where the final score was 4-1. Tune in on Saturday, October 31st for the 4-hour live marathon on the WestordCAT YouTube channel and the Education channel. That's Comcast Channel 99 and Verizon Channel 33. You can find WA sports coverage on WestordCAT.org, video on demand, and WestordCAT's YouTube channel. Full games will be available at those locations, and be sure to like and subscribe so you don't miss any updates. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you again next time.
Firefighters rushed to Westford Academy on October 26th to wrestle with a one-alarm fire inside the high school's wastewater treatment building. No one was hurt, and firefighters think they nailed the cause of the fire to a heating system that hangs from the ceiling. The incident is under investigation by the State Fire Marshal's office. With nearly 600 users in only a few months, a quest for a new tone in town, one of camaraderie and cordiality, has begun. Brian Mahoney and his wife Kirsten launched a Kindness Westford Facebook page. Here's Brian explaining why.
It wasn't like there was a lot of planning that went into it. It was, I think it was an inspiration. I don't know if I woke up that morning at some point in the day. We live in a very polarized society right now. Unfortunately, we have a time in our country where it's very divided. And I just saw the level of vitriol just go kind of off the cliff this year. And I really felt sad, mostly for our children. That's really, I have 5 kids, lived in Westford 20 years. A lot of folks know me from coaching, flag football, basketball, teaching at confirmation at church. And I really worry about our next generation of kids, because what they see this this acrimony between adults, and really lack of respect, lack of ability to debate things dispassionately, and to just appreciate the commonality that we all have as Americans, living in a great country, knowing that there's lots of problems, obviously, things that we need to address, but just trying to recapture this more respectful tone and to show our kids that adults can be kind to each other.
As one of the monitors for the page, I enjoy reading the posts. To find the Facebook page, just search for Kindness Westford. The sign on the lawn didn't say vote for Biden or vote for Trump. The message had nothing to do with politics. It simply said, public leaf jumping pile. So when 8-year-old Gracie Frost approached the Main Street front yard, she took full advantage of the leaf pile Ellen Hardy had just created. Hardy said she had just finished raking the leaves and thought it would be fun to create a pile, and Gracie was her first leaf jumper. Gracie's father, Josh, captured the experience on video and posted it to a Westford Facebook page, which reminded some of us how much joy can be found in a simple pile of leaves. That's it for now, Westford. I'm Joyce Polino Crane, and you're watching WestordCAT News.